Welcome back to the Spoony Stitcher channel. I'm Sally, your host today, inside of Tim Burton Tuesday. That's my best Sally impression, okay? So yes, today is the first episode of Tim Burton Tuesday. What is Tim Burton Tuesday? Well, Tim Burton Tuesday is every Tuesday in October. I am going to talk about a different Tim Burton film. Some you may like, some you may not. It really doesn't matter. You're here for the crochet aspect anyway. But for those of us who do like Tim Burton movies, it's extra fun. So today I crocheted a little Sally top, and I will show you guys. This is the best I can show you in the camera, so I just made it. It's just supposed to look kind of scrappy like her, and because she's a rag doll. The blue shirt is obviously my skin. So yeah.
So where did the Sally top come from? Well, actually it all started with yarn. Doesn't it always? So it started with a particular yarn that I saw from Red Heart. This is the yarn. And I noticed that it basically was Sally yarn. I mean, almost every single color in there reminded me of Sally. So I thought to myself, I will just get this yarn and I will make like a tube top, you know. And I couldn't find the yarn anywhere. Well, then I found out that there was an Ogo version of it, but that one wasn't all the mixed colors. That one was just into block colors. Well, I can do block colors. So I decided to shop my stash and see what colors were in the yarn and what colors were in the movie dress and try and make it myself.
So for the black, we obviously have black. For that gorgeous tealy color, I have Big Twist in, I think it's just called teal. Peacock, my bad. Peacock. It looks more green in person than it does on the camera. Okay. For the purpley color, we have Premier Basics in Eggplant. This one does not have a label, but I know that this is Big Twist Discontinued Plum. They don't have this anymore. This is the discontinued color Plum. So this is my pink color. And then for that gorgeous mustard golden yellow color, we have Premier Basics in Goldenrod.
Alt Knots came out with a tutorial for the coolest granny square I have ever seen for basic granny squares. And I've never done this before, but instead of a chain 2 in the corner, you make a treble crochet. It's really fascinating. I'll link the tutorial down below. You guys can make it. It's really fast and it's really interesting. So I was making a bunch of granny squares because I thought, oh, I'll just make a bunch of granny squares, sew them together, make them look like they were a patchwork, and make a tube top. Well, then I decided I thought it would be really fun to mix it up. So I have the lemon peel stitch in here. I have just double crochet. I have the camel stitch. I have, I think the thermal stitches in here. I just started playing around with different stitches and just started going different directions and just made it into a patchwork with all the colors. And it was really fun. So as I was doing that, I realized that a tube top wasn't very Sally. Actually, she's more of a corset top. So I had to look up how to make a corset top because I'd never done that before. So I did. And it was really fun. So after dressing up as Sally and everything for these videos, I felt I kind of needed to do kind of a cute little photo shoot. So at the end of this video, stick around because I've got some cute photos and stuff that you might want to see. But yeah, I just thought you guys might like a little behind the scenes look at making the top.
So that is my Sally ensemble. Yes, I'm wearing makeup. It's true. Can you see? Yeah, to match her lips. And yeah, I didn't do the scars because I don't need them. I have scars all over my chest and abdomen. I have one on the back of my arm. I am made of scars. So my nickname that one of my friends gave me is Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Yes, if you didn't guess, today's film is Nightmare Before Christmas. Which actually kind of goes with this background here. I mean, you know, the sparkly, the Christmas, you know. We've got the Halloween over here and the Christmas over here, so it kind of works. If you can see my Sally bear in the background, yes, my friend who calls me Sally bought me that. Isn't it cute? I don't want to move her because everything will fall. But she's in the background along with my Zero pillow, which, where did it go? Oh, here it is. My friend Christy got me this. Thanks, Christy. Isn't it cute? This is the best pillow. This is great for putting on my stomach when I don't want any pressure there, putting on my back, using for my neck. This is like a really great pillow. Highly recommend this. It's very thin, but it's just thick enough for different things. It's really great for the car. This is a great pillow. Thank you, Christy. Who knew this would be so useful and so cute? Whether you love the movie, hate the movie, have no opinion on the movie, stay anyway. It'll be fun. What is so great about Tim Burton? Well, Alfred Hitchcock, I believe, is the king of the psychological thriller movie. When you think psychological thriller, you should think director Alfred Hitchcock. When you think horror movies, I would say that belongs to Stephen King. Wouldn't you? But when you think Halloween movie, specifically, I don't know about you, but my brain immediately goes to Tim Burton. I would say he's the king of the Halloween film. Yes, I know there's actual films called Halloween that he didn't direct, but for the most part, I think our brain kind of goes there. Now, some people, they go to Friday the 13th and Halloween and all of those, you know, other movies and stuff, but I think if the quintessential Halloween movie is Tim Burton. I also think he did some pretty groundbreaking things in his work. I mean, he took a specific look to his films and somehow he made them work in both live action and claymation. Not to mention, he's one of the few directors who took on claymation. That's pretty impressive, because it was not a super used medium. Yes, you've got Rankin and Bass, and you've got the people who brought you Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run and stuff, but for the most part, claymation wasn't really done that much. Why? Because it takes years to make one film. But he decided to do it. Okay, I have created the Tim Burton movies tag for you guys, and I would love it if my Tim Burton fanatics or fans or whatever you consider yourself, Tim Burton files, would like to do it as well. All you have to do is copy and paste the questions from the description box and make a video with the hashtag right here. That's it. All you have to do. So, if you don't have a channel, that's okay. Answer the questions down below. I would love to know your answers. I have 13 questions for you guys to answer, and of course, I will answer them as well right now. First question. Do you like Tim Burton films? Okay, obviously I do. I'm dedicating an entire month to him. What is your favorite Tim Burton film? Okay, mine is tied. My favorites are The Corpse Bride and Big Fish, but they are tied because the romance in Big Fish is unbelievable, and the story of Corpse Bride is wonderful. I love the story of Corpse Bride, so they're tied. Favorite Tim Burton character? Human character, or human-like character. Sally or Emily? Yeah. Favorite Tim Burton couple? You know, I think it's gotta be Edward and Sandra Bloom from Big Fish. I really like their relationship. And if you've never seen the musical, which has nothing to do with Tim Burton, but if you've never seen the musical Big Fish, I highly recommend looking up the soundtrack, because the songs give you much more insight into the characters, and wow, that's a magic score. Favorite Tim Burton pet? It's 0. How could it be anything but? Favorite Tim Burton score? Probably The Corpse Bride. All the piano and the strings. Yeah. Least favorite Tim Burton film. So I was hesitant to put this one on there because I know somebody's gonna like it out there. But I think my least favorite Tim Burton film, I'm gonna go with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Don't come at me. I know there are some people who are super diehard fans of that movie. Not me. Favorite Tim Burton villain. My favorite villain is a villainess. And it has to be Angelique Bouchard in Dark Shadows. That was the movie that made me fall in love with Eva Green's acting. She, oh my gosh, she should be in everything. She can do any accent. She's amazing. She's been in Bond films. She's been in a few Tim Burton films. She's been in lots of fantasy things. She was in the show Penny Dreadful. She's amazing. I'm praying for one day for them to make her Morticia Addams. She would be a phenomenal Morticia Addams. Favorite Tim Burton movie hero or heroine? So I really love Miss Peregrine, who is played by Eva Green. But I love Miss Peregrine. I love that she kind of reminds you of like a really strict Mary Poppins, but kind of like the book Mary Poppins, but she still has a very soft side. Favorite Tim Burton character to dress up as? Sally! Favorite Tim Burton movie moment? I would say I really like the moment in Big Fish with Sandra and Edward in the bathtub, where he's fully clothed and she's fully clothed and she climbs in with him. That's a really heartbreaking but emotionally, it's such a touching scene. Don't tell me Tim Burton can't do romance, because he can. And he can also do heartbreak, and that has both. Your favorite Tim Burton underrated character? I cannot think of her name, but in the movie Miss Peregrine's Home for Unusual Children is Peculiar and Unusual I don't know, whatever the name is. It's a very long title. Whatever that name is, the girl who can heat things with her hands, she's an underrated character. She's not a main character, and but she's like everybody's mother, and it's so sweet, and her relationship with the little ones is touching. She kind of reminds me a little bit of Wendy from Peter Pan. She's kind of like Wendy, so maybe that's why I like her. I don't know. So I would love it if you guys would answer these questions yourself, and let me know your answers down below. Or if you're a podcaster, make a video about it. You can dress up if you want to. So, you're here for crochet. Let's talk crochet. First thing I want to show you is this is a pattern that one of my friends designed. Carolyn at Sweet Oddity Art. Her Etsy shop will be linked down below. So will this pattern, which is free on her Ravelry shop. I will link it down below so you can make this cutie too. If you didn't know, one of my favorite things is Disney dogs. And one of my favorite Disney dogs ever is Zero. Come on. He's a ghost puppy. What's not to love? So Carolyn had a pattern that I've had to make, like I've had in my list to make for years, and it's Zero. Isn't he cute? He's actually supposed to be smaller than this, but I used a 5-weight yarn instead of a 4-weight yarn, and I love him. He's so cute. So I use the Forever Fleece Finer to make his fur. He's so soft. And I used a regular worsted weight acrylic for his nose. And I used a regular worsted weight acrylic for his collar. And he doesn't have a bottom. He really is a ghost. Look, he's hollow in there. But he does stand up. His head is a little top heavy at times, but that's just because I stuffed him really, really well. And so you just kind of have to balance him. So you just have to kind of pull his skirt out a little bit more. And the only thing I don't like, it's not the pattern's fault, it's mine. Whatever I did to sew on the ears, I can't. This one won't stay up and this one won't stay down. So I can't win. Because I kind of want him to do that, but it won't do it. So whatever. I believe I used 24mm eyes, I think. I don't know. I had to ask her what size eyes to use because I was like, I'm using a different yarn. What size eyes do I use? And she was more than happy to help me. But you can tell this is a Carolyn pattern because the indent. So you see the indented face? That is a signature Carolyn move. Every single pattern she does is adorable, but it also has the indented face. And I really had fun doing it. I think it looks really cool. I could have pulled the yarn more. I could have made it more like that, but I think this is good. So yeah, I did not add the little pumpkin face to his nose because I don't know. I kind of liked it like this. So I think it looks cute. And so, yeah, I finally made him Carolyn. It's only taken me how many years? We won't get into that. But, yeah, I highly recommend you make him. He's free on Ravelry, and I will link that down below so you can make him too. If you make him, please tag Carolyn because she's amazing. Sweet Oddity Art. And you should just go buy her patterns because they're wonderful. I've bought several patterns from her. Haven't made them, but I've bought several. I've made, however, her blowfish, her monkey, zero. It'll come to me. Anyway, I've made a few, but mostly I just buy her patterns to support her because I love her. Thank you, Carolyn. I hope he turned out cute enough for you. I wish it would have been glow-in-the-dark yarn, but I really like the idea of the soft yarn, so it's okay. So that's one. Now, let's talk about something I made in the past. So, somebody I was a friend with, we're not friends anymore, but that's okay. I made her a set of coasters. These are my Nightmare and Before Christmas inspired coasters. I took elements from every character, the 4 main characters, or what I believe is the 4 main characters in the movie, and made them took their elements to make them into character coasters, basically. I love doing that. I've got a video upcoming in October that'll show you a lot of the inspired by coasters I've made in the past, so look forward to that video very soon. But of course, this is my channel, so what do I have to make? Tots! Yeah. I made several because my friend's daughter, her favorite movie, she's a toddler, but her favorite movie is Nightmare Before Christmas. So, we have Jack Skellington, whom you might have seen on a few channels because I did have pattern testers, which means when I have a pattern tester, what does that mean? Yes, it'll be a tutorial this Saturday. If you want to make your very own Jack Tot, Saturday's video is for you. We also have me, Sally. What do you think? She was challenging, but not impossible. The color changes were kind of weird, but I got used to them. So she has a false French knot eye, and he has fabric, or he has crochet circles because these are for a toddler. And so I don't want any pieces to be loose or anything. In fact, this particular Jack is not going to a toddler. I'll show you the one that is, because of these little threads that make up his tie. I don't want them to be loose pieces around her, so especially because she has a baby sister. So I made a different one. This is the one I made in the tutorial. And I do show you how to do all the details if you want to do it yourself. But I'll show you the one that I made for her daughter. So this is Sally. Then, of course, the villain of the film, Oogie Boogie. Oh, wow, he looks like he's glowing. That's so cool. He's not glowing. This is just a bright yarn. Wow, the light makes him look glowing. I love it. Anyway, this is Oogie Boogie. He is a larger tot. I'll show you Jack in a second next to him, but this is my favorite part. Ah! He's got a spider hanging off. Yeah, he's got a little spider hanging off of his little nightcap type thing. And so... Okay, so here's Jack. See? He is large on purpose because he is a big character. So I want to say it right now. This is not a tutorial. I repeat, do not ask me for a tutorial for this, okay? Maybe sometime in the future, but not now. It's 0. Of course it's 0. He still has very tot-like features, but I had to give him his tail. And his little paws. I know the fabric does this in the movie, but I didn't know how else to make that happen, so I just gave him paws. Not a tutorial, but he is cute, isn't he? So, my friend's daughter, I think, will like him. And yes, he is shorter than Jack. So here's the Jack that I'm going to give her. See, he doesn't have any details, and I think that's safer. So, but see, 0 is his pet. So, yeah. Here's a picture of them all together if you want to see them next to each other. I like them. I think they turned out really cute. So, before I created 0 the Tot, I was trying to make, I don't know if you've seen these things, the British ladies, like the knitting ladies, they do this a lot. They have things called scissor fobs, and they're these beautiful beaded things that hang off your scissors so they're easier to find and you don't lose them. Well, I thought a crocheted version would look really cute, like just have something dangling off your scissors. So I tried to create myself a scissor fob of 0 for my scissors with crochet, but he turned out a little too big, but I still absolutely love him. And this is my pattern and I'm so happy. Look at the ears, they're perfect. He's so stinking cute. I know he needs eyes. I need to add little false French knots in his eyes, but other than that, he's perfect. So, yeah. Yeah, I love 0. I can't help it. I love 0. Apparently I love to make 0, but I love 0. He's one of my favorite characters. So, let's talk a little bit about Nightmare Before Christmas. This might shock you. Nightmare Before Christmas is not one of my favorite films. It's not. I'm sorry. I love the music. Danny Elfman. Oh, Danny Elfman. His scores, whenever he and Tim Burton make a film together, I know if nothing else, the score is going to be something else. And I have to get it. The score, I just have to listen to the music in the background. But this one has a really great score as well, and this one was a musical. So this one had songs, and this one, okay, yes, technically Corpse Bride had songs too, but this one had a lot more. And I mean, it felt like a true musical. It has an I Want song, it has a villain song, it has a damsel song, it has, you know, a fun bouncy number. But yeah, the music is fantastic. And did you know that Danny Elfman is Jack's singing voice, but his speaking voice is Prince Humperdinck from Princess Bride? Yep, found that out recently. The concept: a guy from a Halloween-only village stumbles across Christmas and wants to do something like Christmas because he likes how it makes him feel, he likes how things look, but he does it wrong. Okay? I don't have any problem with that. That's a great concept. The characters. I think that Jack, Oogie, Sally, Zero, and the mayor are extremely well-written characters. A well-written character to me is somebody that I feel an emotion towards, whether that's like or disgust. I, you know, care about what happens to them, either positively or negatively. And, you know, a good villain is somebody you love to hate, so I think Oogie goes with that. And then, you know, a hero that you feel for. Like, who doesn't feel something for Jack a little bit? Yeah, I do. And of course, we feel for Sally because no one will listen to her, and she's right. But, you know, those are great, well-written characters with good arcs. And then the story behind the story, how Tim Burton came to make the film, how the writing took place, all of that is really, really a cool story. There's a Netflix documentary on it that's on YouTube. Watch it. It's very interesting. But here's my problem. Act 1 is so strong. Act 1, I remember seeing this with my friends who were obsessed with this movie, by the way. I never had any interest in seeing it until I met my friends who were obsessed with it. So I gave it a chance. And I have seen it so many times because it's their favorite movie, and so, you know. But I love the characters, I love the music, I love the first act. The second act is where you lose me. It feels like a rush job at the very end. And I don't like that. I don't like when a movie feels like, oh shoot, we forgot to do this and this and this and this, and let's just cram it all in the last 5 minutes. Don't do that to me. I don't like that. However, I learned from the documentary, it could be because one of the writers had to leave. And someone else had to take over the writing, which could be why it feels so disjointed to me, the first and second acts. So that could be why. It was Danny Elfman's girlfriend at the time. Because she was in the very next room and she heard them putting together the movie all the time. She was there for the whole thing. So that could be why. But the number one problem I have with this film is, don't get me wrong, I get that it's Halloween Town. I get that characters are gonna look weird. Tim Burton's characters look weird. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem when those characters are so grotesque, you can't even look at them. There are characters that were sculpted that were completely unnecessary. I can't even look at them. Okay? Can't even look at them. And unfortunately, they like using them, so they show up in a lot of scenes, and ugh. They're not main characters, okay? They are not main characters. They are background characters. I don't even know if they have lines. They might. But they're just horrid to look at. And this is a kid's movie, okay? It's a kid's movie. It was written for Disney, for kids. You need to think about your audience. Yes, I just told you that it's a toddler's favorite movie. But I didn't tell you if she likes those characters. She doesn't. It's a mediocre film, okay? With extremely strong characters, a great plot idea, and a fantastic score. And visually, like the sets and everything, I like how he said he wanted everything to look like it was in a sketchbook. That's why Jack's tie has these lines in it, is because it's supposed to look like it's a sketchbook. Like he popped out of a sketchbook, which I think is really cool. Although I'm a nerd, I like that kind of stuff. That's what I think about the movie, okay? You can agree or disagree, just be nice in the comments. We all are allowed to have our own opinions. Thank you so much for joining me today for today's first Tim Burton Tuesday. Come back next Tuesday and see what other film I have crafted something for, or maybe dress up as. Remember, life happens, yarn helps, and spoonies can stitch it up too. Have a spooky day.